Gospel of Thomas, one of the reasons I can see why it was thrown out, it contains 114 sayings of Jesus Christ. One of them states, God cannot be born of a woman. Where's the problem now? How does that contradict with current Christianity? Because current Christianity tells you God was born of a woman. Therefore, the Gospel of Thomas was thrown out. As noble, as moral, as beautiful as it may be, as authentic, as ancient as it may be, because some scholars date it even before the Gospel of Mark, the earliest Gospel. Some scholars, such as April D. DePonick, she puts the Gospel of Thomas before the Gospel of Mark. This is an issue. That Gospel was rejected, possibly because it says God cannot be born of a woman. So this is what's happening in the first 3 centuries. People are forming beliefs, and if a Gospel doesn't fit, doesn't agree with those beliefs, it's thrown out.
Now, the real reason why the churches rejected the Gospel of Thomas is not because it went against their doctrine. It's because it's a known forgery. The Gospel of Thomas is dated to the 2nd century, which means that this book was written decades after the Apostle Thomas had already passed away. How can a dead guy write a book and put it under his name? Doesn't really make sense. The other reason why the churches knew it was also a forgery is because if the Gospel of Thomas truly was written by the Apostle Thomas, it would have been handed down to at least one of the apostolic churches, like the Church of Rome, Antioch, Alexandria, Jerusalem, except no, that's not what you find. What you find instead is unanimous rejection from all these churches that were founded by the apostles. That is why the Gospel of Thomas is rejected and why it's not in the New Testament canon. Because if it truly was written by an apostle, it would have been given to one of the apostolic churches, and it would not have been written decades after their death.